I'm Connor, and today we are on a 2007 Dodge Caravan, and we will be walking you through the throttle position sensors. We are going to demonstrate. We have the PIDS menu up here. We're going to demonstrate what happens when we unplug the throttle position sensor while the PIDS menu is active.
I'm going to rev it up a bit, about 2,000. All right, now. And the engine dies. Now we're going to recrank it. It's going to start, but voltage is indeed whack. Connor's going to go plug it in again. Yep, there it goes. And there it starts reading it. And here I am giving it some beans.
Sensor's back in.
And now we're reading a little bit more. Yep.
This is roughly what the wiring diagram for a throttle position sensor looks like. We have a 5-volt supply running over a resistor leading to a ground. We have an armature here that moves along the resistor and detects different. It picks up different resistances. It will then send that signal up here to the PCM, where it'll drop the remainder of the voltage across this resistor right here, and then that will allow the PCM to make a decision regarding its next move.
Alrighty guys, today we are on this 2010 vehicle CERN. It's got a V6 on it, and right now we're just back probing the throttle body, trying to see what the voltage is right here. So we got it hooked up to the picoscope. So you can see we got it running right now. So Connor, just record that. I'm gonna move the throttle plate and we can watch as the voltage changes from the sensor itself. That's fully open, and you see it drops down to about, I'd say half a volt. What would that be? Look at that. Pretty much a volt. It's dropped down to about a volt. I'm gonna let go. So, if the engine were to be on and we were to push the foot pedal, the more wide open throttle would be that. Half throttle, about there. So at about above 2 volts. I'd say 2.3, somewhere around there. But, see.
Cool. We are now out in the parking lot on a 85 Mercedes, and that sensor right there with the single green wire, that is our engine coolant temperature sensor.
Alrighty guys, here we are on this Toyota Corolla. We're going to be measuring the voltage of the ECT sensor with our digital multimeter, and we're going to be measuring the voltage from startup to operating temperature, and Connor's going to go ahead and look at the voltages as I start this thing up.
So this here is what the ECT sensor wiring diagram roughly looks like. You'll notice it's very similar to a throttle position sensor in terms that we have a sensor ground as well as a sensor signal. Now, what is different about the ECT sensor as opposed to the throttle position sensor is that we do not have a 5-volt reference anywhere. That is because they combine the 5-volt reference with the sensor signal in the ECT circuits. So the power will come here through the ECT or through the PCM, and it will come here to this resistor where it has an armature. This armature will read the variances in the voltage, and it will then travel up through there where it grounds out through another resistor up here within the PCM. Now this is normally electronic or engine coolant temperature sensors are negative coefficient thermistors, which means that the higher resistance you have, the colder it is. So if the engine here is reading like very high resistance, that means it's very cold. And so as the engine warms up, this will drop down and down and down, and will continue to drop the voltage until it reaches a certain point where the PCM will then open the thermostat. And once the thermostat opens, the engine will start cooling off again, and this will start climbing, increasing the resistance.